Survivor secrets. These are the things they do not tell us in the edited television show. And what is great is how the official DVD and Blu-ray releases of each season of Survivor contain some secrets that are game related, some that are personal thoughts, and some that are just plain silly. And we will even learn who named their child after a Survivor winner and why Jeff thinks that more and more advantages are a good thing. Basically, as long as it is not part of the show that aired on television, it is fair game to be considered a secret. And while most of the secrets here are focused on season 35, heroes versus healers versus hustlers, some of them do apply to Survivor as a whole. Thank you for watching what I make and ultimately supporting what I do here with liking, commenting, and sharing. For only a few bucks a month on Patreon, you can pick what videos I make, watch all of this channel's content early, and even get exclusive videos every month. Thank you for your support. Heads up, this list contains the secrets that I personally found to be the most interesting. Not every single secret in existence about this season is in this video. So with that, let's count all 36 of them in absolutely no particular order. Number 1. You would think in the aftermath of season 34 and fan favorite Suri going home that Jeff might say, yeah, we messed up. We didn't plan it right and that will never happen again. No way, that is not how Jeff talks after season 34 at all. Jeff doubles down and says, we planned it that way and I was happy when it turned out that way. He then goes all in on idols going into season 35, so we should have saw it coming, and it really explains everything.
Does it change anything you do moving forward, having that happen?
Oh, no. I thought that was fantastic. That was the poster. If you're building a poster for the movie Survivor Game Changers, you want Reservoir Dogs. You want all guns pointed in the last episode. That was the Survivor gods looking down on us saying, we're going to reward you with another gift.
Number 2. If you have watched the Survivor advertisements on TV over the years, you have seen the quality kind of be all over the place. When there is a good theme, the marketing department is on top of their game, like with Winners at War or with Heroes versus Villains. But when there's really nothing, they just kind of make up stuff, like the fake monster for seasons 41 and 42. Season 35 falls more in the latter category that seems like a precursor to the nonsense of 41 and 42. So, where did these vines come from again?
CBS next Wednesday. There's no escape from the Survivor season premiere. Get sucked back in.
Number 3. In this secret scene from the pre-merge, everything is nice, peaceful, relaxing. Why not enjoy this beautiful view and soak up all of that sunshine goodness? Nothing bad can happen, right?
I was feeling a bit dehydrated and I threw up just a little bit. So I'm not sure if that was just, waking up early in the morning and drinking kind of too much water at the beginning without kind of easing into it.
Number 4. Honestly, I forgot Simone was on the season until I went back to work on this season secrets video, and apparently she forgot some things too. Some of them that seem pretty basic for someone who's playing on the show.
It feels good to be on Survivor, but living on a beach is not fun. Being outside is not fun. Being sandy is not fun. Sitting around in the shade is not that great. I'm not really having a great time. I'm just trying to stay positive. I feel like, I get lost so easily on the way to the well that I always have to hustle my ass back because I get lost so easily.
Number 5. I teased it at the beginning, but who named their child after Survivor winner, and who was that winner?
I told this story in casting.
Yeah.
And the conclusion of the story is years later, we name our son Ethan. And basically after Ethan's on, you got to imagine the casting people are cracking up and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait for Ethan to hear this story. We can't wait to tell him. And so lo and behold, now Ethan and I have become friends. Literally, we text each other every day.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually very entertaining.
Wait, so you're better friends with Ethan than you are with me?
I have no comment, Rob.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Now my question for the rest of you is, what name would you give your child if you had to name them after a winner? Number 6, face stories. Have you ever heard of them? Well, Jessica this season did a thing where she would put a buff over someone else's face and tell face stories. It doesn't make too much sense, but don't worry, Dr. Mike will explain it and you probably will still be confused.
Jessica is doing face stories on people, which...
What's
again,
a face story?
So you put the buff over your face, and she does these weird things with her fingers on your face. I don't know, but it's mesmerizing, and it really is mesmerizing. there's a troll walking through the forest, and he comes across a carriage. Like, he comes across a little cottage. Knock, knock, and she pulls your earlobe. Knock, 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 knock.
Number 7. Unfortunately, Jeff doesn't do his usual video tribal council tour this season, and all I can find out about it is an interview on The Hollywood Reporter. So I'm gonna read you some of the explanation of this tribal council as they planned this one about a year before building it. Links in the description for all the details. This tribal council, we decided to go back in time a little. We've been a little bit contemporary before, but this time we went back a bit further through Fijian history and into its shipping, trade theme, almost a spice trade, and East India trade aesthetic. There was a pretty big trade industry between Fiji, India, and therefore England. We played upon that a fair bit. Between about 1860 through 1910 or something like that, it was a big deal. There was a sugar industry being traded between there that would end up in England, a little bit of a warehouse kind of feel, ship parts and items and things like that. That's why it looks like we're in a jungle setting where we're in a warehouse filled with sacks and crates. It's overgrown with vines. It's like something you might stumble upon if you were really shipwrecked somewhere and you walked up this beach and here's this crazy place with train tracks. These are actual sugar industry train tracks too. We sourced these from a disused factory close to the mainland. They had to get these carts to go out into the fields with these little train carriages that are also on set here and fill them up with people who would cut the cane and push these carts back to where a little train would come. We incorporated them into the set to give that feel of produce coming in and trains here covered in boxes and bags. It's a perfect walk in and walk out situation. There's almost 2 months worth of build here. Before that, there are plans to be built and people to gather, and we have to do our research to see if we can even source some of the things we want to get. Because we're very remote here, we can't just go down to the local place and buy whatever we want. There's no Home Depot here. Where are you going to get your material sent from? It's too far from anywhere. We need to make sure we have the local guys to build it and the materials to build it and all that sort of stuff. We've had a little bit of preparation from before, but we had to do the research, otherwise it just doesn't get done in time. Number 8. This season there are 18 castaways. While 8 of them are from Survivor's favorite areas of the country, those being California, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, you would think they would do their best to avoid people knowing each other. But in fact, Allie and Patrick were neighbors in college as they both attended Auburn at the same time. How does this happen when you have 50 states worth of people to pick from and you only have to get 18 people? I have no idea. Allie says, and I quote, "I got here and I look over and I see someone I went to college with. We were actually neighbors. We were kind of in the same circle of friends in a sense. I guess you could say it was a big circle, so we weren't close, but this is going to be weird." She says this before the game begins, and how does this even happen? Number 9. Some might ask, how real is Survivor? I have seen many comments on my own channel claiming that the show is scripted and therefore it must be fake. Of course, it's not scripted, it's a game show, but most notoriously on a video I did about the women, specifically Jenna being the men in Survivor the Amazon, people claim, no way could a woman beat a man in Survivor. It's pretty sexist. So how much of the show is real? As Chrissy explains,
as a huge Survivor fan, it was awesome for me to get out there and find out that it is a real show. Like, it's a real show. We're not getting soap and shampoo and toothpaste and porta potties off camera, like people are asking me. Jeff Probst, he says everything one time. Like, he doesn't, like when he said, welcome to season 35 of Survivor, he doesn't say, okay, hold on, let me do that again and do a double take. Like, what you hear is what you get. I had always wondered if the voiceovers during the challenge was Jeff afterwards, like sort of dubbing that in. Nope.
Number 10. Get this, we learn in a secret scene followed by an interview from Chrissy that while in Fiji, Ashley developed a hole in her right ear and goes completely deafened while on the show. I'm surprised this did not result in her being medically evacuated from the game personally.
Ashley is amazing. She had a horrible ear infection when we were out there that she actually developed a hole in her eardrum and went deaf in one ear while we were out there. So she was a little under the weather.
I woke up early this morning after not feeling good, and I think I have like a terrible ear infection. So I am 100% deaf in my right ear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I can't hear anything out of it.
That is not good.
Number 11. In another secret scene, Mike is going on a nice, casual, shirtless hunt for an immunity idol. You know, the things we all do when we're on the show. Though in retrospect, Mike probably should have worn the shirt.
Oh my God! Ah! Ah!
Are you kidding me? I got stung 3 times by wasps looking for the idol. Sticking your hand in a stump and finding wasps instead of an idol. It is not a good feeling. and you need to wash yourself off immediately.
Number 12. Here's a thing that happened. Flirting was abound in Fiji. Chrissy talks about how Devin and Ashley were really into each other, and we see Cole and Jessica think they are secretly flirting, and I guess to some it's a secret, but Dr. Mike feels awkward around them, and I would too.
What's up, Buttercup?
How you doing?
Sorry. I just catch myself staring sometimes.
That's funny.
I can't be a jealous partner. I am on board with their relationship. I want them to be super duper happy out of the game. But for now, I need Jess.
Number 13. After Jessica gets voted out, Cole drops a Ben bomb on everyone by saying, yeah, I had a secret relationship with Jessica. Boom. Ashley says, that's great, but can I wear her underwear?
Me and her totally had a thing going the whole time.
Wait, so you guys totally full-blown had a thing?
There was a bit of a showman's going on.
Do you guys like make out still?
Not a lot.
They thought it was cute and funny. It's not of any consequence anymore. I just thought it was a good story to kind of like clear the air with everyone, and it feels good.
So will it be weird for you if I'm wearing her underwear, or? And I don't want to make things weird.
Number 14. Here we go. Jeff Probst cast assessment time. First up, he says, Chrissy is one of my favorite all-time people, but I think her older age will stop her from succeeding in this game.
Chrissy is one of my all-time favorite people. She has accomplished so much. Uber bright, big career, took time off to go have a family, then came back to have another big career. She's a hero because she shows, especially other women, you can do anything, especially anything any other dude can do. The thing working against Chrissy, at least in her mind, is that she's one of the older people out here. She's so bright and has had so many life experiences that I have a feeling she will be able to maneuver people enough to get them off that topic.
Number 15. That last secret was okay, but where's the juicy stuff? We all know that Jeff makes some terrible picks each season. While he doesn't label anyone this season as his winner pick, here's the two people he speaks the most highly about, and in case you didn't know, they both go in the pre-merge.
Rourke is fascinating. Rourke is on the healer tribe because that's what she does. She helps people with their emotional problems. But Rourke loves Survivor. I see Rourke lasting a long time. Allie is on the Hustler tribe. She has a really amazing energy. I think Allie is going to be one that's in it for a long time. I would be surprised if she was out early. I think she's way too bright for that. And it wouldn't surprise me to see her at the end.
Number 16. So many times players will make fake idols and the show just won't show us that. We heard how in season 11 Gary was the first one to make one, but no one found it, so it never became important. And in season 12, we saw in a secret scene how Austin made one to fool others into thinking he had it when he didn't, but he ended up backing out of his own plan at the last minute. But here we are in season 35, and Survivor still isn't showing us all of the fake idols, as Dr. Mike apparently made one to trick Joe.
I wasn't willing to give Cole my idol, and I didn't know if Cole would work with me afterwards. I knew Joe, if I made sure to save Joe, that Joe and I could work together for our mutual benefit. So in giving him an idol, I was just wanting to make sure that they weren't going to vote for Joe that night, that they would vote for the person going home was Cole.
Okay.
And then if Cole played an idol and I play an idol, the person going home is Ben.
Number 17. If you get to play on Survivor, you kind of have to not tell anyone you're playing Survivor, except maybe a few close friends and family. So how does one cover this up so no one suspects a thing while you're gone for 2 months? Well, Dr. Mike had a foolproof plan and it failed miserably.
Well, the problem is that when I first got that phone call from Caitlin saying, well, we want to bring you out for an interview, I was screaming in the hallway in my office. And then Caitlin's like, this is supposed to be a secret. And I'm like, oh. I told them I was going on a research mission to Indonesia. You'd be amazed how many, my patients stuff, you'd be amazed how many people know people in Indonesia. Is he in Jakarta? Or where is he? Does he want to meet the head rabbi? It's like, no, I don't know anything about Indonesia. Just leave me alone. I'm going to be on a boat off the coast of Indonesia. It's like, I have to come up with this elaborate, backstory. It was ridiculous.
Number 18. JP changed Chrissy's life forever, no joke. She talks about it in multiple interviews, and this is pretty crazy considering how she repeatedly says over and over again, JP didn't really care about Chrissy, outside of the fact that she was a human being. Also, Chrissy got to do a TED Talk once, so let's kind of just combine these two secrets into one thing.
I had a moment that literally changed my life. This moment was so brief, it didn't even make the edit. There was a water challenge. This time we were competing for a feast on a yacht. And I had to swim individually against a Marine who was more than a decade younger than I was. And I was absolutely freaking out on that dock before it started because I was 46 years old and not a swimmer, and today is not my day, tomorrow is my day, but there was no way to fake this one. And I'm absolutely freaking out on that dock when the hero firefighter looked me straight in the eye and very calmly said, "Chrissy, just hold your mask, dive in, and swim your little heart out." And in that simple phrase, just dive in and swim your little heart out, my whole world skipped for a moment. It was like I woke up and I realized that whatever I was, that was enough. However I did, that was okay. I didn't have to wait for tomorrow. My time was now. And so, in that moment, I just dove in and I swam my little heart out. I swam to the dock and I climbed up the giant ladder and I jumped into the ocean below and I swam to the buoy and I dove underwater and I untied the keys. And when I came up for air, the doctor was screaming, "Chrissy, you're winning. Chrissy, you're winning." And yes, I won my swimming leg and our team won the feast on the yacht that day. That moment was a turning point in my game, when my game of tomorrows became a game of todays. When I finally felt like enough, then I was.
Number 19. Chrissy and Ben were good friends in the game until they weren't. Chrissy swears she was loyal to him until he turned, and Ben says Chrissy was not loyal. She was planning on screwing him over the whole time. Who is really right, we may never know. But in this secret scene, we see them fight, and I am surprised this didn't make the actual show.
I had your back since day one. What
Chrissy,
you did today
that's not what I
really showed your true colors.
You know,
and it was extremely
anybody,
dishonorable.
listen to me. Anybody who goes against you, Chrissy, is all of a sudden the bad man.
Oh my God, you're such a jerk, Ben.
Oh my gosh,
I
it's not gonna work.
seriously
I'm
never
sorry, you
expected
can't mother
this
me
from
right
you.
now, Chrissy.
Why am I mothering you?
try to do
I don't
it to
tell my
everyone.
kids a jerk.
When anybody goes against you, you start doing this. It's a game of Survivor.
Okay, good night.
Okay, night-night.
Number 20. After the others win reward, Ryan is stuck on Ben babysitting duty. Ben says, "Wow, that's embarrassing. Sucks to be you." But Ryan sticks to him like glue to be sure that Ben does not find another idol. He needs to go next. Unfortunately, Ben doesn't find anything, but that was all part of his secret plan.
The only thing that could have saved Ben today was either winning the immunity challenge, which he failed to do, or finding an immunity idol, which I'm pretty sure he failed to do. I don't think he's got it. I was with him all day.
So I come back from the immunity and reward challenge, and I still have to play the part like I ain't got no idol, you know? It's hilarious for me. Little as Ryan, I got it in my boot.
Number 21. In this interview with Jeff, he reflects back on how Survivor has evolved over the years and how they had to figure out the show itself over the course of time to get to where they are today. He claims that basically the game's figured out, all production has to do is step out of the way. I would argue that while Jeff is correct, he is lying here based on all the ridiculous twists they throw into the game after season 35. Heck, at this point, he already knows Ghost Island is right around the corner.
But when you look at it incrementally and you go back to season 1 and 2 and then you go to season 10 and then 14 and then 25, you go, oh, the game was actually kind of just figuring itself out.
Yeah.
And now all we really try to do is stay out of the way. And we're just trying to stay loyal to the format and the brand, but also say to the audience, trust us, we're gonna keep kind of playing and bringing new things, and if you don't like it, we'll back off. We'll bring you something new.
Number 22. Did you know that there is a Miss Fiji contest and that Desi herself was Miss Virginia? Well, one of the staff members at Ponderosa wants to win Miss Fiji, so with Desi's help, they practiced to get it right. I did look up the winners from the past few years and I didn't see this staff member as one of them, but that doesn't mean she can't ever win.
Remember, we're looking at the judges and we're gonna turn and keep our eyes on the judges. And then take a step before you start turning and looking forward.
Number 23, counting calories, gluten-free, keto, Atkins, working out, no carbs, going on Survivor. There are many ways to lose weight and to stay in shape, but for Cole, it's simple, and he shares this with all of us. So I propose we all try it out and see how it works.
Des, she's waiting with peanut butter and orange soda, which I've been discussing with everyone as like my secret for staying fit is like peanut butter and orange soda. Those are the keys to being leading a healthy life.
Number 24, for Cole's Ponderosa video, him and Desi hiked to a waterfall, and frankly, this is the kind of stuff I would want to do if I had a couple days at Ponderosa instead of just laying about and being lazy. Because you're in Fiji for free, so take advantage.
The waterfall was absolutely gorgeous. A little bit cold, but just what we needed, or at least I needed, after keeping up with Cole for an hour and sweating my tail off.
Number 25, when Joe gets voted out, he is mad. He truly believes that people kicked him out of the game and kept in Ben simply for the only reason that Ben would get to experience the loved one's visit. What do you think?
You know, Ben started crying around camp, and I think he just got an extra day to see his family because everyone's anticipating the family reward. And, you know, my sister's coming down. I wanted her to come down, but I didn't win, so it is what it is. Ben went around crying, like, my family's here. It's fine. It's like they thought it was the family comes at 7. So he went around crying, like, yo, just keep me for one more vote. I saw it, but I was like, nah, they're not stupid enough to keep Ben because he's so dangerous.
Number 26, despite missing the family visit himself in the game, Joe still gets to see his sister at Ponderosa. And this is cool production to do, since in the past your family could be on location, but because you got voted out, you just don't get to see them. Number 27, have you ever compared the classic movie Titanic to Survivor? I can't say I have. Not once in my entire life did I draw any comparisons between the two, and yet Lauren does, and now I just can't unsee it.
Coming back to Ponderosa, I told the group that was here, I said, have you ever watched Titanic? And when Rose dies and she goes into the boat and they're all standing there clapping and waiting for her, I honestly felt like that when I was walking down the dock, and I'm like, I died and I've gone to heaven.
Number 28, for Lauren's Ponderosa video, she decides to go out crabbing with Joe. They lay out some traps, come back the next day, and did they actually catch anything?
Oh my God, look, we got one.
Number 29, you may have noticed if you watch these Ponderosa videos how everyone has their own thing to do in their video, something that sets them apart from everyone else to help you remember them. For Ashley, she has nothing, so she asks JP for some help.
You can do dolphin watching. You know how many dolphins we've seen out here?
How many?
0, but you gotta start looking and find them.
He's useless.
Number 30, after finding JP's advice to be useless, Ashley asks Desi, who says she can do a dance that Ashley hasn't done since she was 5. Lauren says, I don't know, I just did some crabbing. Cole says, I hiked a waterfall. And Ashley claims all the good things have already been done. So Joe offers the best option out of everyone.
What are we doing? Whose ass are we kicking? You want me to drown?
Well, yes, but that's not the point of the Ponderosa video.
Hide and go seek could be my thing, because I found you.
I'm so good at hide and go seek.
Number 31, Mike and Joe started the season as enemies and ended as friends. It's these unlikely pairings that make watching Survivor so much fun, as this goes all the way back to Richard and Rudy in season 1. However, Mike explains how exactly these two came to be and how they got their alliance name.
You wanted to cause discourse. You wanted to cause chaos. But so they were saying we're both nuts. And at some point we just said, I guess we're the coconuts. And then it was like, well, if we're the coconuts and I'm a sex doctor and he's Dominican, he can be Coco and I can be nuts. Joe and I clearly have a natural chemistry together. Like they're brothers from a different mother.
Yeah, it went from hate to love. And it was just natural, and I didn't see it. I mean, who would have thought,
Yeah.
a light-skinned Dominican, I'm definitely urban and I love hip-hop and all that stuff. And then you see this guy and the last thing you think, he's urban and loves hip-hop too, and he does.
I do a little bit, yeah. I like to get down, even though I can't keep a beat. Every relationship with the word nuts in it has to have some kind of a romantic chemistry.
Number 32, why did Jessica go home? In a clear blindside that went down 7-5, it turns out that Ben was really what made all this happen, as he called the shots.
My recollection of that is that we had decided on either Joe or Cole. I can't remember which one of them, but it was definitely going to be one of the guys. And then about 15 minutes before we left for tribal council, Ben called an audible. Ben literally switched it and said, forget it, we're all voting for Jess. Mm-hmm. And I remember specifically me going over to him and he said, we're voting for Jess, just vote for Jess, don't ask any questions. And of course I was like, why? And he said, she's gunning for you. Mm-hmm. You're not going home. just vote for Jess. And I was like, okay.
Number 33. Many of us take a lot of stock in what is said by players after the game as if it's the gospel or something. Jeff loves to ask at reunions who everyone would vote for if there was a different group in the final 3. People claim constantly that they were just one move away from winning it all, but most of it is garbage, as Chrissy explains.
Well, truthfully too, because we only know what's told to us, and 90% of what's told to us out there is a lie. Right? We're all lying to each other at all times. So I can say, oh, you know, Ryan was going to do this. Oh, Ben was going to do this. It doesn't mean they were really going to do that. That's what they told me they were going to do. Or same thing when people say, oh, Chrissy was going to do this. It doesn't mean I was going to do that. That's just what I was telling you at the time. So, you know, it's very hard. You know, of course, I go out and read the social media stuff when fans say, oh, I read an AMA with Dr. Mike, or there was an AMA with Joe, or a podcast with Ben, or this, and people say this is what was going to happen. It doesn't really mean that's what's going to happen. That was just their version of what was going to happen.
Yeah.
In the same way that what I'm telling you today is my version.
Yeah.
So.
Number 34. Jeff loves Ben. Talk about his Boston Rob of this era of Survivor, a Marine and a father? Well, that's everything Jeff wants to be. Well, Ben actually planned on keeping this information a secret in the game and clearly blew that hard.
My wife and I, you know, we watched the show, we're fans, and, you know, I had this whole game plan and it was like, I felt good about it, right? And the game plan was, okay, don't let people know you're a Marine and don't let people know you're a dad. And so on the boat, when Jeff's like, welcome to, you know, heroes versus healers versus hustlers, I looked around at my tribe and was like, oh, no. And then he's like, hey, you in the cowboy hat, why would you be considered a hero? And I was like, I'm a dad and I'm a Marine. I mean, I don't know. And so my game was blown out right there.
Number 35. This next one is something you may need to pause your screen to read or even click on the link in the description to get it all in. But basically, Ryan says he got physically jacked up on the island. He basically broke his toe on day 12, his wisdom teeth got cavities, his weight dropped down to 108 pounds, he has some nerve damage in his feet, and his vision changed in his right eye. That is just crazy. Number 36. Some of us have applied for Survivor since it began, and some of us apply once and just get on right away. Chrissy is the former, to the point that she did it in secret so her family didn't think she was crazy.
So I have been applying to Survivor since 2001. I have sent in so many applications that I actually don't even know how many, but I did start to do them secretly so that my family wouldn't know I was sending them in, because I think they would think I was nuts.
So which secret surprised you the most? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. See you all next time.